Hey everyone, thank you for clicking through to this video. Today we're diving deep into the world of social media and its impact on our teens, but we're doing it with a twist. We're counting down the top 5 potentially harmful social media platforms for kids from number 5 to number 1. So whether your child is scrolling shorts on YouTube, posting pics on Instagram, or watching the latest dance craze on TikTok, you'll want to learn which platform poses the most risk to kids and see which one gets the top spot as most potentially harmful to children. So why are we doing a countdown instead of just talking about the risks of social media in general? Because not all social media platforms are created equal. They have different features and algorithms and content which can lead to different risks for our kids. As a parent, you need to know about these different platform risks, just like you hopefully know your teen's different friends. With some of those friends, you don't need to worry quite as much as with others. In some cases, like with number 1 on our list today, you may not be comfortable with your teen hanging out with them at all. But before we get to the countdown, let's acknowledge that social media isn't all bad. It can be a powerful tool for connection and creative expression. Teens can use social media to stay in touch with friends and family, find communities with shared interests, and express themselves creatively. In fact, a Pew Research Center study found that 57% of teens have made new friends online, and 83% say social media helps them feel more connected to their friends. So this is not about demonizing social media altogether. It's about understanding the potential risks and benefits of each platform, and then helping our teens use social media in a way that supports their well-being. With the knowledge you'll be picking up today, you'll be in a position to decide what's best for you and your children, and then set up whatever boundaries are needed. Now let's get to the countdown. Coming in at number 5 is your favorite and mine, YouTube. Now, before I get banned for speaking ill of the platform that I'm using right now, hear me out. YouTube can be a fantastic resource for education and entertainment. There's no shortage of high-quality, informative, and enjoyable content available no matter what your tastes. But it's also a rabbit hole of endless content, and it's easy to get sucked in for hours on end. That became even more of an issue when YouTube introduced Shorts a couple years back. Many of us have experienced how easy it is to lose track of time and end up scrolling through videos far later into the evening than we had planned.
An hour! I couldn't control myself!
This is as true for our teens as it is for us as adults. In fact, a study in the journal Sleep Medicine found that higher YouTube use in teens was associated with increased sleep onset latency, meaning it took them longer to fall asleep. So why did the researchers call it increased sleep onset latency instead of just saying it took longer to fall asleep? Because we psychologists know that using words with more syllables makes us sound super smart. So parents, what can you do to lessen the potential risks of your teen browsing YouTube? First, talk to them about setting time limits for YouTube. As we've mentioned, social media can be great, but we need moderation in all things. Too much of a good thing can easily become a problem that we end up regretting. Next, encourage them to watch videos that are educational or inspiring rather than just passively consuming content. Rather than just playing video roulette, teach your teens to always have a purpose when spending time on YouTube. If they're looking for specific content with a specific goal in mind, chances are it won't be wasted time. Finally, make sure they're not watching YouTube right before bed. In my video on the importance of teen sleep, I explain why it's important to have our kids away from their electronics at least an hour before they go to bed. If you haven't yet checked out that video, there's a link on the screen now for you to follow, or just wait till the end of this video and I'll throw a link at the end screen. All right, next up at number 4 is Twitter, or X as it's now known, but just between us, I'll be calling it Twitter because that's far easier. Twitter can be a great way for teens to stay informed about current events and express their opinions. But it can also be a breeding ground for negativity and drama.
It's horrible, horrible, just horrible.
There's something about the instant communication and instant feedback of Twitter that makes for real fireworks. Most of us know the value of waiting to hit send on an email that we wrote when we were upset. Well, Twitter completely does away with that wisdom. In an instant, your teen has the ability to say something that may have long-lasting consequences for themselves and for others. And once that tweet is out the door, let's face it, it's not coming back. As we discussed in previous videos, teenagers just don't have the ability to consistently think about consequences before they act. So if you have a teen who's active on Twitter, they need your involvement as one with a fully functioning brain. They need your help to see what might be a bad idea before they act on it. Here are some specific tips for parents when it comes to Twitter. First, talk to your teens about the potential dangers of Twitter. The rapid-fire communication that Twitter provides is fantastic for a lively exchange of ideas. But the risk we run is we can find ourselves in the middle of a real-time back and forth that doesn't have the benefit of cooler heads prevailing. Next, remind them over and over that words have power. They need to think before they tweet. And coming in at number 3 is Instagram. Instagram is all about the visuals, but those picture-perfect feeds can be breeding grounds for social comparison and body image issues for just about anybody. Since teens are in a particularly sensitive phase of their lives, when a lot of their beliefs about themselves are being etched in stone, they're more at risk for the damage that can be done through these unrealistic comparisons. A study in the International Journal of Eating Disorders found that viewing manipulated photos on Instagram led to increased body dissatisfaction and negative mood in adolescent girls. A different study then found that the teens with increased body dissatisfaction were more likely to seek out online information to fix their body problems, which frequently resulted in the pursuit of unsafe or ill-advised actions like unhealthy diets. So as we can see, the visual focus of Instagram is particularly dangerous for teens and the developing teenage brain. Parents need to make sure they're aware of what their teens are viewing, what reactions they're having, and how they view themselves over time. Although our sons aren't immune from these dangers, the research has shown that girls are particularly at risk for these problems, something to be aware of. So how can you help your teens navigate Instagram? Talk to them about the difference between reality and the curated images they see online. Don't assume that your teen has heard all the talk about how no one posts their reality on Instagram. As the parent, your kids need to hear these things directly from you. Next, remind them that their worth is not dependent on how they compare to anyone else. This is a tough one for nearly all teens and adults alike. To be perfectly honest, I don't think anyone could successfully avoid comparing themselves to others after just 1 or 2 conversations. The truth is, this tip requires that you repeat this message over and over to your children and help them internalize a belief in their worth. It takes long-term effort, but it can pay big-time dividends. All right, number 2 on our list of the most potentially harmful social media platforms is TikTok. TikTok is the king of short-form video content and has been in the news a lot lately. It's fun, it's addictive, and it can be a great way for teens to express their creativity. But it also has its dark side, even beyond the fact that it might be the product of foreign powers who are determined to rot the minds of America's youth while stealing our personal data. So there's that. What I'm referring to is a social trend called TikTok challenges. If you aren't aware, a TikTok challenge is a viral dare that circulates on the platform when people post videos of themselves trying to do whatever the challenge entails. It could be something as harmless as a dance challenge where people post videos of themselves doing a choreographed dance to a popular song, or something destructive like the Kool-Aid Man challenge. That led to people posting videos of themselves running through walls or fences. The American Academy of Pediatrics recently issued a warning about the potential dangers of these challenges, some of which have resulted in serious injuries and even death. For example, in 2021, a 10-year-old from Pennsylvania tragically died after attempting the Blackout Challenge, where participants choked themselves until they lost consciousness. Another example, a 15-year-old boy in Manhattan died while subway surfing, a trend where individuals ride on the top of moving subway cars. And then another example, the Kia Challenge, involved videos showing users how to hotwire Kia and Hyundai vehicles. This led to numerous car thefts and, tragically, a car crash in Buffalo in 2022 that resulted in the deaths of 4 teenagers. It's been said that we should never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. The truth is, TikTok has given a lot of power to a lot of people who want your kids to do stupid things.
I'm surrounded by idiots!
I'm pretty sure stuff like this is the whole reason we have parents. So here are some things you can do to keep your kids safe on TikTok. First, talk to your teens about the potential dangers of TikTok challenges and stay aware of the most recent trends. I can't say remaining up to speed on the most recent craziness on social media is my idea of enjoyable, but I'd rather spend some of my time on it if it means I can potentially help my kids or yours stay safe. Next, encourage your kids to be critical of the content they consume and to never participate in a challenge that makes them feel uncomfortable. If it seems stupid, it's because it is stupid. And finally, the #1 potentially harmful social media platform for teens is Snapchat. Snapchat is known for its disappearing messages and photos, which is why their corporate mascot is a ghost. For those who don't know, when using Snapchat, you can send a message known as a snap to a friend, and once that message has been viewed, the snap disappears with no record of what was sent.
Gone, gone, gone.
As you would expect, this can lead to potentially risky behavior for teens and, well, anybody else really. A study published in Cyberpsychology, Behavior, and Social Networking found that Snapchat users reported experiencing cyberbullying more frequently than users of any other platform. The nature of Snapchat, with its built-in deletion of evidence, means it's perfect for saying or doing things that might get someone in trouble, like bullying, if it were reported. But for teens, the danger of disappearing messages is even greater than the potential for harmful social interactions like bullying. All experts agree that parents need to be involved in and aware of how their kids are using social media. With Snapchat, that awareness and involvement becomes impossible. A parent would never know if their child is involved in an inappropriate relationship on the platform. A parent wouldn't know if a dangerous activity was being planned with friends. A parent wouldn't know just how much they don't know.
Well, that's terrifying.
As we already discussed, teens don't have fully developed brains that are capable of consistently considering the outcomes of their actions. They frequently act impulsively without thinking about the consequences. The reason parents need to be aware of what their teens are doing isn't a question of trust. It's entirely based on keeping them safe in a way they can't do for themselves. Now, to be fair, Snapchat does have other communication features that don't immediately self-destruct, and these do allow parents some level of oversight into their teens' activities. That's good, but it doesn't address the fact that the platform still allows for some communications to happen without the parent's awareness. That's a fatal flaw that cements Snapchat's place at #1 on the list of most dangerous social media platforms for teens. So what can parents do when it comes to Snapchat? Well, I'll just share that for myself and my kids, Snapchat is a no-go. Since there's no record that allows for parental oversight and awareness of snaps sent or received, there isn't much a parent can do to help keep a teen safe when using this platform. But if you decide it works for you and your family's situation, I recommend strongly frequent conversations about online safety and the potential consequences of risky communications. Before we wrap up, let's not forget about the other platforms out there like Facebook, Twitch, WhatsApp, Reddit, and Tumblr. The simple reason none of those platforms made our list is because there aren't as many teens currently using them, at least not compared to the ones that we already discussed. Now, although they may not be in our top 5, these platforms still have their own unique risks and challenges that parents need to be aware of if their kids are using them. So what's the takeaway? Social media is a complex landscape, and it's important for parents to be informed and involved. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution that will keep your kids safe, because what a parent needs to be aware of changes depending on what social media their children are using. Talk to your teens about the potential risks and benefits of each platform, set healthy boundaries, and then encourage them to use social media in a way that supports their well-being. Then, stay involved. Technology is constantly evolving, and parents need to stay up to speed if they want to guide their kids effectively. That's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more parenting tips. And as always, feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching today's video all the way through to the end. I've put a link to the teen sleep video I referenced earlier down below. Until next time, take care.